Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Vanessa and today we're doing like a fall mermaid vibes type of look. So we're using purples, greens, and a really fantastic copper. So let's just get into it and let's just do some makeup. We are obviously starting with one eye, already done. And I'm using the Lorac Mega 2 Pro palette. And I'm going to start with Goji. So it's kind of like a pinkish, purplish color and a rounded eyeshadow brush. And we're going to take Goji through the crease and also kind of do like a cat eye sort of motion. So the motion we're going to use is like this as we're applying it into the crease area. I prep my eye with concealer. There's a little crease there, so I'm just going to smooth that out before we start. Again, just making that cat eye motion. Since we're going to have that shape for this whole look, we're going to apply everything with that motion. And I'm also going to take some of this onto the lid, just a little bit. You don't have to worry about like whether the shape is perfect because we're going to work with it as we apply other colors. So just making sure that you're getting that general idea going, but it doesn't have to be perfectly applied. So now we're going to go in with Cabernet. It's a darker, deeper purple. And we are going to apply that in the same area, but just to give it a little more definition. So really focusing on this outer crease and this outer part of the lid here. And that's just adding some dimension. These colors are so pretty together. I love using these two together. And we're still going in that same shape. Still focusing on that cat eye shape even as we apply this. We're gonna buff and forest, which is this deep green, with a big fluffy eyeshadow brush. Again, still that same motion. Every color, same motion. And this is going to go on the upper crease area. And this is also going to soften the edges, just this brush in general, because it is a really fluffy it's a really fluffy blending brush, so it is going to soften out those other colors that we did just a bit. So we're going to go back in after we're done with Cabernet. I would like a glass of Cabernet, but that's neither here nor there. We'll go back in with that and just add a little more definition once we're done with forest. You can see how this brush really just softens everything out. This is the Sigma Diffuse Crease E38. I love this brush, especially if you have any harsh lines. It's really great for getting rid of those. So we've got that pretty nicely blended, but the Cabernet we applied has kind of diffused its way out a little bit. So I'm going to go in with a little extra with that same brush we used to apply it and just intensify that color a little bit. We're going back in that same crease area. So really focusing on the outer crease area. For a little brow bone highlight, we're going to use Custard, which is a matte yellowy type shade, almost like a banana powder kind of shade. And just apply this on the brow bone with a flat eyeshadow brush. And when I blend this out, I'm just going to be mindful of that shape we've created. So I'm going to blend it along this way. So making sure that I'm not messing with that shape too much. I don't know what is up with this lighting today. Like it does not want to let me be great, and I don't know why. Using the same flat eyeshadow brush, I'm using this Pat McGrath Labs, what do you call this? Cream. Pat McGrath Labs cream eyeshadow. This is copper, and I'm just gonna pack this onto the lid. I'm really gonna focus on the inner corner, or the inner portion of the lid where we haven't really applied much shadow, and then blend it outward. To intensify this copper color, I'm gonna go ahead and use the pressed pigment. It's still Copper 005 from Pat McGrath, and just press this into the inner area of the lid. And this is really gonna amp up that color a lot. This look is kind of giving me almost like muted mermaid vibes, like almost like a fall mermaid, since it's like deeper purples and a deeper green versus if you use like really bright colors, you know? And I'm really just tapping this on so I can pack this pigment onto the lid. And I'm just gonna blend it out so it's not just one big glob of intense shimmer, but it kind of gradually gets more intense as you go across the eye. Time for the liner. I'm using a pen liner and it has a bold end, and I'm just gonna go ahead and make that winged liner shape. This is like very intense because you know you want to get it right. Let me actually use a smaller mirror so I can really see what I got going on, you know. Now, like I explained last week, you should have seen that video by now, I like to do kind of like a rough draft with my actual eyeliner and then perfect with a black pigment or black eyeshadow, whichever you have available to you or prefer. So this is basically the rough draft. Now I'm going to go in with the black pigment from the Alyssa Edwards Anastasia palette. It's called Beast, this shade, and I feel like this is one of the darkest blacks that I have in my collection. So I'm going to use this and an angled eyeliner brush and just go ahead over that shape and really just perfect it. Let me get my little mirror back. And you can see this is even making the liner darker than it already was. This black is super intense. I feel like this palette was worth it just alone for the black. And just to make sure that the line is precise, I like to look down and then you can kind of see where it may be a little wiggly or wobbly, and then you can go ahead and just correct that. And to make the wing nice and sharp, I like to clean off my brush and then just drag out the end. Now for lashes and mascara, I'm using the Kiss Triple Push-Up Lash in the style Garters. And I'm gonna throw in some mascara and put these lashes on. So this is the final look with the lashes and everything. So do you like it? Do you love it? Do you want more of it? Of course you do. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be reminded every time there's a new video, which is every single Friday. I hope you really like this tutorial. I hope you're gonna try it out, and I'll see you next week.